Welcome everybody back to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here at the home studio this evening, continuing to bring you the best in regional music. Brings me great pleasure to support a band from right here in my hometown. The band called Under No One from here in San Antonio. So gentlemen, welcome to Rob's MetalWorks. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. And, I definitely want to share with the people out there that the reason you are on the program is because I'm a huge, huge fan of the music you guys are writing right now. We're going to talk about your new EP here in a little bit. But I know that the individuals in this band have history in San Antonio. And that's kind of where I want to get started. We can't really talk about the band without kind of focusing on the individuals in the band, especially individuals who know about heavy metal in San Antonio like you guys do. So let's talk about that.
All right, we got Robin Lewis, one of the original members from Alienation back in, the 90s. Him and Jason Schwab, who's right back here, were original founding members of Alienation, with Al Kelly from Scythe, another band from our time that we used to always play with, and Richie Gomez, drummer for Scythe. I was in Judgmental. I played guitar, kind of switched roles there. Secret plan of mine to do what I'm doing, but it worked out. We'll get like this.
Because you used to play guitar.
Right, I used to play guitar, and I joined Under No One. They didn't have a singer, and they told me, but they needed another guitar player, and it was just for fun. So we checked it out, and we had a hard time finding a singer, so I had to end up filling that role with a little help from my.
That was Rob's master plan all along.
Yeah.
They actually needed a second guitar player that could keep time.
Oh, God. Oh, he's getting started, people. If you only knew. Okay, so, there's some history in the band. You guys are veteran musicians. And Under No One is a fairly new band. I mean, you've been around for not even a year now. About a year?
Yeah, just a couple of years, but fully, playing and everything as a cohesive unit, it's been about a year.
Yeah. So about a year, and I guess my first question for the band is, what brought you back? What made you want to not only play music, because I know some of you guys might have kept busy with some cover stuff, but doing original music, and then not only doing it, but being out there as a viable kind of band. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, a couple of years ago, a friend of ours from Scythe, also Mark DeHoyas, threw a 4th of July party. And what he did is he invited a whole bunch of San Antonio musicians from the scene to come in, and we were going to learn a bunch of cover songs. And so it was probably about 15 musicians from San Antonio. And we probably learned about 30 songs between all of us. It was kind of a rotating set. Everybody was just jumping in and jumping out.
The local metal allegiance.
Yeah. And for me, for myself, it had been a couple of years since I had been playing with anybody. And Rich came out. Robin was there. And out of that, what happened was 2 other guys that were there that said, hey, we want Al and Robin to get together with us and start a band. So we did. We got something kind of going, And we did that for maybe 8-9 months and wrote some good songs. But after a while, things just didn't pan out, as that happens,
Yeah.
But the bug got into me at that point. And at that point, I was talking to Robin, and we had a couple songs together. And I said, you know what? We know a lot of good people here in town. So I said, why are we out looking for drummers and strangers and this and that? All I got to do is talk to this guy.
Yeah.
So what I did was, we talked about it, and we said, yeah, let's go ahead and get it going. So we went to his birthday party, and before I touched a single beer or anything, the very first thing I did, I said, hey, man, just to make sure this isn't drunk talk.
Right.
I'd like to get something going. And we have all the time in the world. I know none of us have been playing for years. I know we got a lot of rust on us, and we got to get oiled up again and get going. And so we kind of took that pressure off us of just trying to be successful right away.
Right.
So we called him out, and we got going. And probably for a couple months, the 3 of us, me and Robin and Rich, played for about 3 or 4 months. Probably had about 4 or 5 songs kind of cooked up. And at that point, we were going good, and it was like, well, obviously you need a second guitarist.
Yeah.
And that's where I called Eric and was, hey, man, you want to come out and jam? And I think at first he thought...
So we did that for about a year, right? I mean, had about like 10 songs, and we bouncing through singers. Yeah, checking guys out, and what we really liked about what we had going was... everybody would communicate, hey, it wasn't, hey, are we going to practice? It was only like, only bug us if you're gonna if you can't show up, and let us know as soon as possible. And that started on real good vibes, right? You're giving up a couple days a week or whatever, and let everybody know what's going on. Anyway, we did that for about a year of just the four of us, and looking for singers. We brought Terry out finally, and he had worked on some stuff. In the meantime, I had been after a year without a singer, I started imagining. I hear all this stuff in my head.
Secretly
I was writing words and vocals, and it was my like Friday night thing. Drink some beers and scream into the microphone and record. So I brought what I had done just to help Terry out for his first time out, and he pretty much looked at them and said, what am I doing here?
Now we're talking about Terry Anderson from Low Key.
Yes, we are. We are. I used to play with him in Judgmental, and he played with me multiple times with all the bands.
He said, Eric, you do it. You sing.
He brought his PA out, and he did a little bit of. He's like, you know what? You do this. You should try that, and I did, and it kind of brought out the question, hey, what do you want to do?
Okay, so you guys, decided, hey, let's get back together and do this. I mean, obviously, we all enjoy different genres of metal and speeds of metal and non-metal stuff. When you started jamming, did you feel like, oh, we have to be heavy, super heavy like we were back in the day? We have a rep to protect. We got it. So how did you come out with your own vibe? And what is the vibe?
Well, it was just natural for us to, want to do metal, you know, and so, we, it just came out natural, and we started writing, and my mindset is always, think about writing a song that people can groove to, with some heavy element in it, but also be able to make it memorable, with a hook chorus, or something like that. So, that was our mindset going in. It's gonna be heavy regardless. So.
How would you kind of, if someone asked you, Robin, what kind of music do you play? Like, how would you describe your metal? How would you do that? I know it's kind of difficult because you guys are a very diverse band.
Before we did this, what do you think we sound like?
I don't know. I mean, it's very groovy and brutal and heavy.
It's what's pleasing to us. I mean, first and foremost, it's what's pleasing to us. But then when you start thinking about the listener too, I mean, I love metal of all styles and speeds and this and that, but sometimes there's metal music that's only for other metal musicians. And not for people in the crowd, right?
Like the Blotted Science stuff and the Spastic Ink stuff,
Oh, and I have a background in playing cover music with Robin, and there was one thing that we learned doing that was if you can get people dancing and moving and bobbing your head, then you're doing good. Well, I kind of wanted the same element in this. I didn't want anything to go over anybody's head. And again, if you're just playing to other musicians, then it's all about the speed. I want to play for the crowd where people are moving, where people and then they remember the hooks, and if they can whistle that hook when they're walking away, or if they're thinking about it later, that's the kind of thing that I wanted out of it.
It's so cool that you say that because whenever I look at bands and there's so many talented players out there, and I've always kind of been the fan where I'm not looking at the virtuosity of any individual or how great they play their instrument. I'm really vibing on the song, and you guys have great songs, man. That's one of the things I love about this band is that you guys have really good songs, and you can tell that you were writing, you had the song at heart, not who we are.
The key word is song.
It's about not the individual, it's about all of us together just putting out something that just moves people, and it's pretty cool with the EP and everything. We get feedback on how great the sound is and everything like that, but it's also really cool when someone says this is my favorite song or this is my favorite song, and it's always a different song, so that's pretty cool that it moves each person that listens to it differently.
This is the debut EP from the band called Under No One. Where can people get the CD at?
You can get it on iTunes, CD Baby, Bandcamp, Amazon, anywhere, or shows. I mean, if you want a hard copy, definitely come to one of our shows, or you can get them at Bandcamp too, or whatever. We just want to get it out. We're not looking to, what we'd like to do at the end with it is, have enough to do another one. That's all we really want out of it. The whole thing with this thing has been the song and having fun, and I always say that this band to me is like some guys who got together and put together a hot rod in their garage and put all their own blood, sweat, and tears and money into it, and and take it out on the weekends and try to blow some fucking doors if you can, and if not, well, just have fun doing it, you know. So
Since the release of the EP, you guys have been playing shows. So let me ask Jason real quick, what's kind of been the reception been like that you are now doing shows? You've kind of done some good shows, some really kind of just grassroots shows. What's the reception been like? How do you feel about it?
I love it. I'm getting reviews back from people I don't know. They like it a lot, so makes me feel good. We've gotten some excellent compliments to it, and it's just something you don't expect, and you're not asking for it, but when it comes, it really makes you feel good.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be back on the stage, actually playing live? I mean, in front of people.
It's amazing. I waited almost 2 decades to get back on stage, and I feel truly blessed to be able to jam with these musicians here. These are my brothers. So.
Okay, so the EP is out. You have 6 songs on this bad boy. One of the things you have to talk about with regards to this CD is just how great it sounds on the stereo. So let's talk a little bit about that. Anybody can contribute.
we found Cliff, and it was a blessing, man. The timing was right for him and for us, and while he had some stipulations that we weren't do, like not being there for mixes and him bouncing mixes off us, it really eased things up. It really took the rush out of it. You know what I mean? You sit there in a room for 12 hours and you're like, yeah, that's good. Yeah. But hearing, you can just always like, oh, I've heard it 17 times now. Can we work with this? And if he didn't want to do that, he'd explain why if it bleeds out. But he'd always try what we said. So Clifton Miles, Dead Room Studios, and his crew, and actually Mac Damon in Hollywood Studios where we record the kid at.
Right.
And
the thing about those 2 guys, though, too, is they got very great ears. Mm-hmm. I mean, they hear things that we never could hear, and they don't have a problem pointing it out to you.
Right. They're not shy.
Shit, that's what you're training for.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but they're not condescending or anything like that, and when you hear it, you're like, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying now, and I became.
I never heard that before, and that's kind of the value of those guys, I mean,
I think we became better because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, my ears are now better tuned from the lesson we got from them.
I had the privilege of shooting your show a couple of weeks ago, and some of you out there who haven't seen it, I released some of that live footage out there, so go check it out. It was great seeing the band live, and I think also live, you guys really, I can tell that you guys are like really into what you're doing. So that's awesome. What lies ahead? Rich, can you share what you would like to see ahead for the band now that the EP's been out? How long has it been now? When did it come out?
The release was on August 8th.
Okay.
Physical, August 8th.
So it's almost been a couple of months now.
Been on iTunes and Amazon for a while. I think I put it out there in late July, just to get it out there for when this came out.
So, I mean, now that it's out, I mean, obviously you want to play some shows. Do you have any other plans? I mean, do you guys aspire maybe to play outside of San Antonio? Or is there anything else that you want to do and support? I mean, because I think like a piece of work like this needs that type of grassroots support. But, I know that we're all, grown people. We have families and jobs and stuff. So I don't know if some of those things may be feasible or not. But, what would you like to do?
I'm quitting my job. I'm ready. I'm ready to go on the road right now, man.
What do you think, Rich? What do you think?
Well, I think after okay. Well, I think after what we did with this CD, I think listen to Al is like we have to get all our songs on disc. We need to go back in the studio and get everything that we have, all our library onto the CD and get it recorded, because this was kind of the first time we were all in the studio, and we were all basically newbies again. I haven't been in the studio in, I don't know, 17 years.
Well, one of the things, I'm kind of glad you bring that up, because when I saw the live show, I was like, I don't know this song. I don't know this song. You guys played lots of songs that I don't know. Obviously that you maybe didn't have an opportunity to record. So I mean, there's a lot of music left for.
How has this got like a whole just a trunk full of songs that he's just writing and writing, and he'll send me a video of him playing something. I'm just like, that's awesome, we gotta do this, next practice. And
the most important thing, I mean we're not getting any younger, right? I mean, we're all in our 40s. Okay, we'll just throw that out there.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got to document the art.
Right.
I mean, there's throughout all my years of playing and writing songs and this and that, you know, only not even a third of it's been recorded.
Right.
And that to me is a shame. I've lost a lot of my art. So if you think about a painter or anybody else like that, it's like them painting their paintings and then burning them, and nobody gets to see them, right? So to me, my main focus with this project is for our sake and for our family's sake, you know, that we document this art.
This is one of the first things he told me when he asked me about recording. He's like, I want to do this, and no matter what it is, I want to document to some fashion or the other. And
This interview will be part of it.
yeah, and
Go down in history.
I was like, I'm the same boat. I mean, I've been not playing with a band for a long time, but I've always been playing, and to get it actually out there and physical, you know, it's from your brain to something physical, means a lot.
But now that you're, you know, doing shows out there, talk a little bit. I want a little bit of your feedback on not only like the kids we're seeing or the people that we're seeing, you know, old schoolers or kids, but also kind of like the clubs. You know, are they working well? Do you feel like there's a unity within, you know, bands, or people that are people very greedy out there that are, you know, putting on shows and stuff? Because, you know, sometimes I hear good things, and then sometimes I see bad things, and it's like, man, you know, it's a little heartbreaking. And then sometimes you see a lot of great things happening too, because obviously our scene has continued to be something wonderful, and we always have new young musicians, and new and young people probably wouldn't have been inspired if they weren't seeing bands like Alien Nation or Scythe or Judgmental back in the day. Those are the young people who are, you know, doing things now. So share a little bit about your thoughts on that. And I didn't mean to ramble, but, you know, just to kind of help you kind of ponder the question.
So obviously now.
So Rob, what did you say?
Yeah. What? What was that? What? No, but I don't see so much as greed. I mean, I know we have to. If you want to open up for a badass national act, you're going to sell tickets. Yeah. And if you don't want to open up for a badass, yeah. But you know, they got to make sure they're paying their. Sure. I'm not especially good at it. I have to give credit to Robin. I mean, but I understand that. You know, we got to. If you want to. Sure. Play with a good band, we'll sell some tickets for them.
There's certain economics involved.
Yeah, you can't just throw a show and then have the promoter pay out of their own pocket, the big band. Right. But, I mean, the clubs have been, I think in San Antonio, great. There's a lot of clubs. There's a lot going on every night. I mean...
where do you like to go to?
To hang out?
Yeah.
You look at me, where do you want to hang out?
Yeah.
At Robin's house?
I dig zombies. I can't really say a favorite club. I want to go out of town. I want to hang out of town. Yeah. I want to see new shit. Every place here I've been a lot, and I guess, you know, it's close to you, so you take it for granted. But the clubs here have been great. I mean, you know, you can only ask what you put into it, right? So, go ahead.
I want to say the things that I see that are different, and I haven't been doing it a whole lot. Until up to, you know, joining the band, but just getting the locals out, it's not the same like it was back in the 90s when we played a lot. The local support isn't what it used to be. I'd like to see more people come out and support local bands.
Well, I guess part of our problem is when he says that is that, you know, a lot of the people we're talking about are the people who know who we are, and they're older, you know, and I have problems going to do even stuff that I say I'm going to do. I'm going to go do this tonight, but by the time it's 9:30, I'm like, shit. Oh, okay.
Anybody.
I'm
just we've played with on the bills that we've played with. You know, most of these bands are half our age.
Yeah, that's true.
Although we still fucked them up.
Oh, Jesus.
It's all right.
But even their crowd. I mean, there's just not enough people coming out. Like we really need to get together as a community, you know, and promote better. We need to get people out to the shows and bring this back. Right. No matter what music it is, people need to get off their asses and support local music.
I agree, man. Thank you for saying that, because I totally agree. And, you know, sometimes it's a difficult thing to discuss because, you know, we all want to be political, but, you know, this is our scene. This is our scene, and we got to talk about it, and that's why I think we're one of the most respected metal scenes in all of Texas, is because we've continuously churned out great bands. We have people who love the metal scene, and we've had people who work in the scene, who work because it's a business, and work because we just love and support. So awesome, man. I'm glad you guys are back. It's great to see you. As we end out, any last words, anything we want to share, anything I missed with regards to Under No One? Anything?
Tough question. Yeah. Yeah. And
Be on the lookout.
after watching you for years, and it's good to finally see you. You had said last time we were here, you're like, no, I did Judgmental, and I was like, I don't think you ever did, and you gave me a look like, bitch, I know what I do. But you couldn't find that tape. You couldn't find that. So I don't remember it, but I take you at your word. Okay, whatever. But thanks for having us out, Rob. It's
great, man. It's great to have you. I hope we're going to continue to have fun this evening. I wish you guys continued success, and I hope, I know you guys are doing it for the right reason, but, I know it's a struggle as well. So I hope that the fire continues to burn, and that you release new music in the future, because I want to hear those other songs recorded as well, man. I got them on tape, but, I want to hear the recording. Right. So remember, everyone out there, the band from right here in San Antonio called Under No One. Be sure to look for their brand new EP. It's called Bullhorns and Politics. It's out there right now. You saw the band only on Rob's MetalWorks.